Several years ago, I started seeing the code 223 and I started seeing it all over the place. And then one day, I saw 2223 and it really had my attention. And I knew because I have codes for everything that I had a new code that was coming. And this one was really something else. Stay tuned to the end of this video for a psychic puzzle to practice your intuitive abilities. Several years ago, we had the protests with Black Lives Matters, and where I live, there were a lot of them in the suburbs of the city, and I had never been around anything like that. I didn't have any experience with that, so I didn't have any frame of reference for fear or joy or interest or anything. I had absolutely no idea. And I remember I kept seeing the code 223. So I knew that there was something, but I didn't know what it was. And as the protests started happening, I started seeing 223 more and more often. And then I realized this must be what it's about. Well, there was one day or one period of time where I started seeing a ton of them, like 10 a day. And then I saw a really big one, which was like 22223 or something. And I realized that there must be something happening. And on that particular day, we went out for a walk and there was a helicopter over the park. And when we crossed the main street in the town, it was completely dead. There was nothing there. And I didn't have my phone. I didn't have anything. And I was walking. And when we came back, there was a bunch of people with guns, and a lot of noise. And it was very, very scary. And it was fine. There was nobody attacking or anything. It's just the protester had an AK draped across his chest. We're in an open carry state, walking a puppy. It was kind of a strange scenario. And just a lot of people chanting, "Arrest the police." Very, very, very loud. Nothing happened, but I'd never been part of anything like that. It was really scary hearing a helicopter noise and seeing nobody on the street and then just hearing this parade. Later, I found out that through different news things, people were notified. So the town had shut down and people were inside. Again, nothing bad happened. It was just very, very loud. And the protest ended up going 1 yard away from my yard. So we could see it in the backyard. And it was a lot. And they graffitied everywhere and, nothing was broken or smashed, but it was scary. It was a new experience for me. So 223 is something that I've come to really pay attention to. Last week, I was seeing 223. I saw a ton of it and I didn't know what that was about. Well, driving to my mom's, we passed a couple thousand protesters and I didn't realize what was going on. And there was a global protest day going on. And it wasn't anything scary. People just holding signs and chanting, and traffic was fine. Nobody was threatening or waving lights or graffitiing. It wasn't like that. But there was an energy with it for sure. So it didn't feel fearful. Felt more like, it felt like organized chaos, if that makes sense. So when I see this code, it tells me that there's this energy. In addition to that, I have songs that play in my head. So there'll be a song that plays in my head when there's global unrest. And so I pay attention to this, and then sure enough, I'll see it. I try not to get too involved with the news because my mission is to activate light workers and to heal the planet. And I'm pretty committed to doing that work. So dividing my energies into other things that are not my soul's mission doesn't serve me, but I certainly have compassion and awareness for everybody. So when you see 223, be aware that there might be a protest or there might be somebody protesting something that's going on. Could be protesting maybe something at work, a new rule. It could be somebody protesting you. I mean, there's different ways to look at this or do a reading on this. It doesn't necessarily mean global protest. So for me, it does. But I'm just trying to be a little bit flexible with the codes. This is how it could be interpreted. The contrary for that code, if you want to intend, if it makes you uneasy to be around protests, or if you want to be able to maybe intend for some sort of peaceful resolution, is the peace code. And the peace code is 506. So 506 is when there's peace in the world. There's no protesting, there's no anger, there's no, competition and polarized politics or, people feeling injustice. Peace code would be peace. Everybody feels good. Everybody feels content. Everybody feels calm. So 223 is the protest code and 506 is the peace code. Now, where might you see these codes? I've said this in other videos. You might see it on the clock, on a watch, in a magazine, as a page number, when you're watching a video and it stops, on a product that you're going to buy, on mail that you receive, prices in stores, street signs, in movies, on songs, on playlists. Numbers are everywhere in your world. And as I said in previous videos, if you want more numbers, because I look at them all the time, maybe try changing one of your clocks to military time if you live in America, so that you have more numbers to look at. I will wake up in the middle of the night and I know I'm supposed to look at my phone and there's a message because I have so many different codes. They'll wake me at a certain time so that I can be prepared for the day. And it's always exactly dead on. So I've tested these codes and I promise you they work. I guarantee that they work. And if you do use these codes or see them on license plates or some other amazing place and then you have evidence of it, please come back to this video and share it in the comments. We would love to hear about it. It's psychic puzzle time. At the end of every one of my videos, I offer an opportunity for you to test your intuitive abilities. So to do this, we use Reiki energy. We imagine that the Reiki energy is coming in the top of our head, traveling down our body, down our legs, down our feet, and down to the core of the earth. And from the core of the earth, it comes up, meets your feet, it travels up your body, and up out the top of your head like a fountain, out the right hand and in the left. And now I want you to see and feel a protective bubble. And I want you to find something that feels really happy and feels really good. You know, cuddling with a kitten or eating ice cream. And I want you to feel this feeling and I want you to wrap it around you like a protective bubble of light. Nothing negative can penetrate. Only your beautiful essence is inside of the field and only positive energies can go back and forth between this barrier. And when the puzzle comes up, feel free to press the pause button if you need a little bit more time. But when you're ready, go with your very first guess. Good luck. For the following puzzle, choose the correct animal listed at the top of the screen. How did you do? Did you know you were going to get it right, or were you uncertain? If you guessed correctly, let me know in the comments. If you didn't guess correctly, don't beat yourself up because it's not about getting it right. It's about learning to listen to your intuitive voice. This takes time and practice. If you're curious, my online courses, meditations, and live classes teach clear and practical ways to develop this skill. For more information, click on the links below.